Hello students, how are you all? Today we are going to solve computer paper of 2022, right? So let's start without wasting our single moment. First question is in composer. If we want any option of the radio button selected when the form is loaded, then which checkbox should be ticked? So it is initially selected option should be ticked, right? Next, in Composer window, which of the following toolbars is available at the bottom right side of the window? Right at the bottom, it is as the bottom, right? So at bottom we can see edit mode toolbar on right side. Right? In edit mode toolbar, we can see three mode. Any question can be asked. Okay, three mode. Which are they? Normal mode, preview mode, and HTML tag. Right? In normal mode, table is showed with border, right? It is also like preview mode is like a normal board, right? In preview, link and script would not be worked, okay? And it is so like a preview of a web browser, right? And in HTML tags, which helps the programmer who know the HTML tags. And HTML tags would be displayed in yellow colors, right? With yellow color highlighted tags. Okay, so clear these three mode of edit mode toolbar. One question definitely would be there. Next, which of the following HTTP method does not have any restriction on data length? HTTP, full form of HTTP is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, right? But here it is as that which method allow us data, any kind of data without any limitation. So it is post method, right? In get method, limited data can be sent, but in post method, there is no restriction about data length. Clear? Next, which of the following type of input element is generally used to select a single item from a given group of items? Single item, that is radio button allows us to select a single item. If more than one element is to be selected, then checkbox. Clear? Next, in Composer, which tab display the HTML source of the current element? Look, here it is current word, right? So current element, source of current element would be display in split, where it is display in split tab. Okay, right? So clear? In Composer, which one of the following dialog box will be open when we click on Form Text Area option from menu? Right, we are going to insert text area. Right, insert Form Text Area. Then what would be dialog box? It is text area properties. Okay, which would be shown text area properties. Next, which of the following is a complete web authoring system which integrates web page development and web file management? Right? It is asked about web authoring system. Right? So it is Composer. Composer is a web authoring system, open source IDE, clear IDE, integrated development environment. In Composer, which of the following menu option is used to open the recently opened file? Right? Obviously, file menus, recent pages. Which option? D option. File menus, recent pages. In CSS style sheet dialog box of Composer, which tab is used to keep an image in the background? Right? Image in the background. Which option allows us? It is background option. Which of the following describe the style of the elements in documents and not in its content? Okay, so it is about style. So obviously answer would be CSS, that is cascading style sheet. Next, which of the following adds interactive interactivity to HTML pages and is inserted directly into the HTML code, and we want to make our HTML page interactive, right, or interactive, then we have to use JavaScript. Which one? JavaScript. Next, in the following statement of JavaScript, which is object name, right? Here it is statement document.write hello world. Okay, what is as the name of object? Here name of the object is document. Now tell me what is write, right? WRIT. So write is a method. Anything can be asked. Here it is asked about object. Then next time they can ask about method. Then you have to answer write is the method. Hello world is the message. Next, which of the which object of browser object model BOM is created automatically by the browser, right? Which of the which object is created? Window object created automatically by the browser. Okay, what can we ask other thing? So window is a global object, it is on the top of BOM model, right? What about document object? Document is very important object, it includes form, links, etc. Element of the form, all are included in document object, right? Next, in CSS style sheet dialog box of Composer, which of the following tabs is not available? Okay, so there are 7 tabs. Which are they? General, text, background, border, box, list, and oral. Okay, so style is not a tab in CSS style sheet dialog box. Which of the following events would occur when loading of image is cancelled? Okay, so it would be abort method or abort event. Next, which of the following is an event handler of submit event? So on submit is the event handler on submit. In JavaScript, which of the following functions returns true if the value is not a number and false if the value is a number? So it is a function is none. What is full form of is none? So none is a not a number. Clear? In CSS dialog box, which button should be clicked after selecting selector from the drop down menu to create a style rule? Okay, which button should be clicked? Create a style rule button should be clicked. Which button? Create style rule. In publish page dialog box of Composer, in which field of website information the actual web address of URL of the website should be specified, right? So it is HTTP address of our home page. Clear? Next, which of the following open source IDE is a complete web development environment which provide language support for HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Ruby, Rails, PHP, Python, and many more? So it is Aptana Studio. Which one? Aptana Studio. Next, in Composer, which of the following menu option is used to give a suitable color to the text? It is about text color, and the menu would be format menu. Format text color. Okay, format text color. Next, In Composer, which option of table properties dialog box show the number of rows, columns, and height and width of the table? The tab is size tab. Okay, which tab? Size tab. Which of the following is not an important point to be considered while developing a good website, right? So we have a important point like content, okay, purpose, then medium, but not the table size, okay, right? Purpose of the website, medium for the website, content of the website, very important point. But the size of table size is not so important. Which of the following is a valuable tool for businesses and other organizations when composed of the right material? Right, so it is website. In image properties dialog box of Composer, which tabs show radio button with alternate text option? Okay, so it is asked about image property dialog box, one of the tab where we can see alternate text option. So it is link tab. In link tab, sorry, it is location tab where we can see alternate text option. It is location tab. Which tab is available in insert table dialog box of Composer? Right? Insert table dialog box shows us three tabs. Which are they? Weekly, precisely, and cell. Okay. Location, no. Settings, no. Table, no. It is precisely. Which one? Precisely. Okay. Next, in which kind of commerce the retail merchant with their years of experience create the store design which helps the customer to purchase a product? Okay, in which kind of commerce the retail merchant, so it is traditional commerce, right? In traditional commerce it prepares years of experience to create a store design. Next, which of the following website is not a proper example of online bookstore? Right? It is about bookstore. Amazon was the first site which sell books online first, right? Buy books, shopping.india times. But Make My Trip is not a bookstore, right? It is about trip and tour company. Which e-commerce business model enables the consumers to directly deal with each other through online actions and classified advertisement without involvement of third party? So it is C2C, right? Consumer to consumer. By using which of the following e-commerce business model? The sharing of information helps in reducing IT costs, streamline procedures, and government offices can be more efficient. Right? This is about e-governance and between government offices. So it is G2G, right? Government to government. Next, which one of the following service is not available with online banking? Right? So, obtain statement for any credit or debit card. Yes, we can. Find status of transaction. Yes. Check account balance anytime. Yes. But deposit money through check not possible through online banking. Next, which of the following is an advantage of e-commerce? It is asked about advantage. Right? Resistance to change? No. Privacy? No. It is limitation. Security is also limitation. So right answer is teamwork. Teamwork is the advantage of e-commerce. Which of the following e-commerce business models enables the businesses to form e-relationship with their suppliers, distributors, and other agents, right? It is about supplier, distributor, and other agents. So it is B2B, business to business. Next, which of the following is the transformation of plain text into unreadable or cipher text using encryption algorithm? Okay, it is encryption. What is called is encryption. Okay, we called it encryption. Which of the following are data centers which perform the credit card transaction and settle funds to the merchant? It is payment processors, right? It is payment processors. Which of the following is a card payment mechanism launched by NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India? So they launched RuPay card, which is made of two words, rupee and payment. Next, what is the full form of CA? Right? It is not chartered accountant. It is certification authority. Certification, right? Authority. B option is the right answer. Next, which of the following security aspect of e-commerce ensure that the sender of the message cannot deny after he or she has sent the message? It is called non-repudiation. What it is called? Non-repudiation. Which of the following is not the benefit of m-commerce? Right? Provides global reach. Of course. Conduct business 24 into 7. Yes. Timely information can reach the user. Of course. It offers a limited bandwidth. Right? So this is not a benefit. Limited bandwidth. Which of the following properties should be supported by object-oriented programming language? Properties of OOPS language, that is abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism અને inheritance. Okay, A is the right answer. Abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism અને inheritance. Next, which type of polymorphism is achieved when same operation is given different meaning depending upon the data type of operands used? Okay, depending upon the operand used. So it is called operator overloading. We called it operator overloading. Depends on the operations to be performed, right? In which of the following is the lifetime of the part class depends on the existence of the owner class, right? So it is asked about composition where the lifetime of the part class depends on owner class. Which of the following describe a group of objects with similar attributes and common behavior? Okay, which of the following describe a group of objects with similar attributes and common behavior? We called it as a class. Okay, class is the blueprint. Next, in which property of OOPS only the object that owns the data can change its content? Okay, so this is called encapsulation, which provides data hiding, right? Security, data security. We can use private access modifier to encapsulate our data. Okay, in which section of UML diagram behavior or method or operation of a class are available, right? So UML is Unified Modeling Language, which is used to create a class diagram. Class diagram is representation of is represented in a rectangular form. Okay, having three parts. First one, class name. Second, describe attributes. And third, describe behavior or method. Right? So, third means bottom section. Clear? 45 answer would be bottom section. That is third part. Which of the following example represents multi-level inheritance, right? Where more than one class are inherited from each other. So we can say employee is a kind of a person and teacher is an employee. Okay. Which of the following symbol represent package visibility, right? We must know 4 P's, that is private, we use dash for private, then public, plus is used for public. Okay, then protected, has a sign is for protected. So obviously for package it is tilde sign, with sign tilde. In Java, which of the following is same as Q and equal to P, right? Here, this is logical operator and we can write down Q equal to Q and P. So, D is the right answer. Most time, huh? The such type answer would be question would be definitely there in your 2026 paper. So how you have to do? First write down this Q, then equal to, then again Q and write down this thing and then P. Clear? In Java, which logical operator results in complemented result? Right? Complemented result. So obviously not logical operator. In Java, which escape code represent carriage returns of backslash r? Which one is backslash r? In Java, which of the following is an invalid variable name? Right? In Java, which is total amount is the right answer. Then birth date. Here we can see a space between these words. Birth space date, right? Dollar price, top 5 students. But birth date, here we can see the space between these words. Okay. So birth date is the not a valid name. Space is not allowed. Okay. In Java, in switch statement, which of the following statements will be executed when no match is found? So definitely default statement will be executed. In Java, what will be the value of the variable next? Where, and here is a conditional expression where next equal to n modulus 2 equal to 0 question mark n by 2 colon 3 into n plus 1 where n is 9, right? So n is 9. So definitely remainder would be 1. If remainder is 1, the condition became false. And when condition became false, the statement 3 would be executed, right? So statement 3 equal to 3 into n plus 1, that is 3 into 9, that is 27 plus 1, so 28. So answer is 28. Clear? Why 28? Because 9 is not divided by 2. If it is divided by 2, then n by 2 would be answer, right? But it is not divided by 2, it is not divisible by 2, so answer would be this statement, okay? In which of the following enables to take one of the two alternative courses of action depending on whether the value of a given Boolean value expression is true or false, right? Based on a condition, we have to take action. So for that we use if statement, okay? In Java, which of the following is the correct syntax of do while? As we all know, do while is the post control or post test or exit control loop. In exit control loop, we see the first statement and then expression. Okay. In do while, we can see first statement and then expression is executed. Next, in Java, which of the following determine the required memory size, type of value, range of value, and type of operations that can be performed? So it is data types. Okay. How many data types are there? 8 primitive data types are there in Java. Okay, you must know 8 data types, their range, their capacity. Okay. Which of the following commands is used to compile the Java program? To compile, we use Java C command. Which command? Java C command. In Java, in which step of object creation, constructor is called to initialize the newly created object, right? To initialize, so that step is initialization. Which step? Initialization. Which part of the Java looks for unused objects and reclaims the memory that those objects are using? It is garbage collector. Okay. In Java, which kind of variables are allocated memory from heap area when an object is created? Okay, when an object is created, object means what? We called it as instance. So obviously answer would be instance variable. Okay, object is the next second name of object is, we call it instance also. So instance variable will be created. In Java, which of the following returns a reference to an object that represents an instance of the class? Right? So here we use new keyword, okay, which return our reference of an object. In Java, which of the following allow us to build new class with added capabilities by extending existing class? Okay, so this is a feature of object oriented programming, very important feature, and we called it inheritance. We called it inheritance. Okay, in Java, which of the following are the constructor of classes that incorporate other objects? Okay, so we called it composition and aggregation, where one class having object of another class. Use of which protection of Java will become more relevant when we use inheritance concept of object-oriented programming. Right? We want to protect of our data, then obviously which should be used? Protected, because we know that in inheritance one class access another class. Okay, it extends another class, so protection is to be provided through protected access modifier. In Java, which of the following is proper syntax to define a class? Right, we know first it is keyword class. Okay, then class name, then curly bracket, and the variable and the method we want to use it. So clear? First keyword class, then placeholder is the class name, and then block of variable and method. In Java, instance variable and instance method are referred by using dot operator. Most IMP question, right? And frequently asked question, it is dot operator. In Java, which of the following cannot be invoked explicitly elsewhere in the program? We call it constructor. Constructor is a special kind of method which can be implicitly called, okay, when new objects are created. Next, in Java, which constant of calendar class will display day number in the year? So obviously day of year. Next, in Java, which of the following method calls sort elements of array list from list 1 to list 5 minus 1? So here is right syntax for that. java.util.arrays.sort list 1, 5. Next, in Java, which property of 1D array used to know size of each row? We can know it by using length property. Okay. In Java, how many integer values can be stored using following array? How many values? How many values? How we can count these? So number of rows and number of columns we have to multiply, that is 4 into 4. So there would be 16 such value with integer values we can store in this array. In Java, which of the following is a proper example of initializing 1D array? Okay, so when we are initializing 1D array, we need not to define size of the array. Okay, so first would be eliminated. Okay, so here answer is 2 and 3. Okay, both are right, 2 and 3. Next, which of the following method of string class of Java returns true if invoking string is same as string after ignoring case? Okay, we have to ignore case. Okay, so equals method but ignore case. Boolean equals ignore case string. In Java, which of the following are useful when same operation are to be performed on various elements of similar type? We call it array. Okay. In Java, how many arguments are required to fill partial array, right? To fill a partial array, we need 4 arguments, okay? Name of the array, the value you want, and starting and ending point of array, okay? So 4 arguments are required in fill array. Which kind of variables are of basic data types and can store only one value at a time? So it is scalar variable. Okay, scalar variable can store only one value at a time. Next, in Java, which method of date class return number of milliseconds since January 1, 1970? Okay, so it is long gate time. It is long gate time which returns us milliseconds of since January 1st, 1970. In Java, which of the following not a proper example of common syntax errors? Okay, so here the chapter number 10 starts. Chapter 10 starts. So we need not to solve this because this chapter is omitted. Okay. So chapter number 10. Now, chapter number 11. Then 12, latex. Right? So you need not to do this chapter. These are omitted from your syllabus this year only for you. So easily you can achieve more marks. Okay. Yeah, now this is from 13th chapter. So 96. Which of the following help us in creating and using archive files for backup? For transfer via an external storage device, for transfer via network, etc. So we called it archive manager. We called it archive manager. Which of the following is the default view of Google Map? Which is, we must know that there are two type of view in Google Map. First is map view, another is satellite view. But it is asked about default view. So obviously map view is the default view. Which of the following programs can be used to enter Unicode character into any application? Right? If you want to enter OM or other kind of symbol in your application, then we can use character map. Okay, using character map you can insert any kind of character. Next, which of the following is the original file format of rational plan? Okay, so rational plan also is omitted. This point is also omitted. In VSC Media Player, which menu option is used to open playlist? Most IMB question frequently asked. It is view playlist. Okay, so this was the solution for paper 2022. If you have any query, you can comment me. Okay, I will try to provide more such solution for previous year papers. So keep watching. Stay with Computer Study with Maya Man.